There was once a man who lived in a small town. He didn't come from wealth, nor did he have powerful connections. What he did have was a dream to rise above his circumstances, to create a life of meaning, and to prove that success was possible for anyone willing to fight for it. But dreams alone are not enough. And he would soon learn that the world doesn't reward wishes, it rewards discipline. From the beginning, his journey was filled with struggle. He tried different jobs, but none seemed to last. Sometimes he worked hard and still failed. Other times, he faced rejection after rejection. People whispered behind his back. They said, "He'll never make it. He should just accept reality." The weight of these words hurt him deeply. But instead of giving up, he made a choice that would define his life. He decided that no matter how many times he fell, he would stand again, and the tool he would use was discipline. Each morning, before the sun rose, he woke up. He started small, simple habits. Reading for 1 hour. Practicing his skills. Exercising to keep his body strong. He wrote down his goals, even when they felt far away. At first, nothing changed. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The world looked the same. His bank account was still empty. His struggles remained. But something powerful was happening inside him. Slowly, discipline was shaping him into a different man. Of course, the road wasn't easy. There were mornings when he wanted to stay in bed, nights when his heart was heavy with doubt, and days when his efforts felt invisible. He questioned himself, why am I working so hard when nothing is happening? Why keep going when success feels so far away? But in those moments, he reminded himself of his promise, discipline above everything. So he got up, again and again, refusing to surrender. Life tested him harder than ever. His friends gave up on their dreams and chose comfort. Some mocked his routine, calling him too strict or too serious. Society tried to pull him back into mediocrity. But the man stayed focused. He understood that discipline is lonely at first. It feels like sacrifice. But he believed that one day, it would lead him to freedom. Every failure became a lesson. Every rejection became fuel. And every day of consistent effort became a brick in the foundation of his future. Though the outside world couldn't see it yet, he was building strength. Discipline was training his mind to be tougher than any setback. This was the conflict of his life, the battle between despair and discipline. The easy choice was to quit, to live like everyone else, to accept a life of just enough. But he refused. He chose the hard road, the discipline road. And deep inside, he knew this decision would one day change everything. Years passed. What began as small daily habits had now become a way of life. The man no longer had to push himself to wake up early, to practice, to stay consistent. Discipline had become part of who he was. And while the world didn't notice in the beginning, the world was about to see the results of his persistence. At first, the changes were subtle. His skills improved. He grew stronger, sharper, more confident. Tasks that once felt impossible became natural to him. Opportunities that once slipped through his fingers began to appear again. This time, he was ready. Because discipline had prepared him for the moment. One day, after years of unseen effort, a breakthrough arrived. The project he had been working on finally succeeded. The doors that were once closed began to open. The people who doubted him started whispering again, but this time, they said something different. How did he do it? How did he rise so high? Success didn't come all at once like a miracle. It came gradually, like the sunrise, slow, steady, unstoppable. Every single day of discipline had stacked up, quietly, until it created something powerful. And when the light finally broke through, it was undeniable. The man who once had nothing now had respect, recognition, and the success he had dreamed of. But what touched people most wasn't just his achievement. It was his story. People realized he wasn't the most talented. He wasn't the luckiest. He wasn't born with special advantages. The only difference was that he had something most people abandon too quickly: discipline. The transformation was not only in his career or his achievements. It was in his heart and his mind. He had become someone unshakable, someone who no longer feared failure, because discipline had taught him that failure is never final. It is only a lesson. He had become someone others now looked up to, not because he was perfect, but because he was consistent. In the resolution of his story, he shared the truth: discipline gave me success. Talent will give you a head start. Luck may open a door. But only discipline will carry you all the way. Discipline is the silent force that builds greatness. And this is where the lesson reaches us, the audience. His story is not just about one man. It is about all of us. We all face moments when quitting feels easier. We all battle days when our effort feels invisible. But his journey proves something important: if you keep going with discipline, success will eventually have no choice but to arrive. Think about it. The man who was once laughed at became the man people admired. The one who started with nothing ended with everything he had dreamed of. And all of it was built on a foundation of consistent, disciplined effort. So, what does this mean for you? It means that you don't need to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect opportunity. You only need to begin, with small habits, repeated every day. You need to stay consistent, even when no one claps, even when no one sees. Because success does not show up to the one who waits. Success shows up to the one who prepares.